great. Very thankful to the students that came out tonight, the fans that came out tonight, our alumni. This was a great atmosphere really until the game started. And, I shouldn't say that. It was a good atmosphere throughout in terms of the energy in the stadium and the stands, but for us, certainly disappointing in terms of our the outcome. Give UTSA credit. They out-coached us, they out-played us, they out-executed us, and we got some work to do. So, we've won some games here recently, winning the turnover margin, and on my account, we turned it over 7 times, 6 on paper, and the 7th with the botched punt snap that gave them the ball inside the 10-yard line. We only got 1 turnover on them, which resulted in a turnover on our end on the very next snap. So we had 2 fumbles on from our center to the quarterback and punter, 1 on offense, 1 on the punt team, and they just told our student athletes we can be a good football team, but it doesn't matter who we play. If we turn it over 7 times and we only get 1, we won't get anybody doing that. So how we come back off of this will tell a lot about our team, about our coaches, about our staff, and certainly about our student athletes. It's a long season. We got 11 more guaranteed opportunities. And I told them we got a quick turnaround in terms of 2 in the next 12 days once they wake up tomorrow. So we'll get back to work, get ready for Grambling, and correct the mistakes, and look for improvement in our next opportunity.
What did you see Corn doing? Why did he have so much trouble tonight?
Well, I think a couple things. I think UTSA's defensive front really controlled the line of scrimmage, and I thought they got in our backfield early. I thought they did a nice job controlling their running game, and we ended up getting a little bit one-dimensional for 2 reasons. 1, we fell behind with the score, and 2, we were not having the success running the football. So they were able to get their pass rush and get to John, and felt like we could never really get in a rhythm with our passing game either.
Was there a level of overconfidence, you think, coming into this? I mean, you guys felt like you, I know you think you're a better squad than you played tonight, but...
Well, that's what I just told our student athletes. I mean, I just told them, everybody right now that was at this game is walking down Collin Boulevard, going to their vehicles, thinking, what just happened? We have all these young men on preseason watch lists, and we've got some experience, and I just told them that tonight doesn't have to have a negative effect in terms of our mindset of whether we are going to be a good football team this year. I think we've got the ingredients to be a good football team this year. I think tonight, again, going back to the game specifically, and what I've talked about for a couple of years now is football. Turning it over 7 times and only getting 1, you're not going to win a football game. To specifically answer your question, I don't think our young men, and I don't think our staff or coaches were reading the press clippings and not having respect for UTSA. Again, we went toe-to-toe with them last year, and they went toe-to-toe with us last year for 45 minutes, and created some turnovers in the 4th quarter and ended up beating them by over 30 points. But we knew a lot about their program, and again, I know they had familiarity with ours, and they were the better team tonight.
With the build-up and the excitement for the situation, then the letdown, how much more difficult does that make it to kind of regroup than it would be even just for a game like this? Does that add to that challenge and that difficulty?
Well, I think for us, it should. And I think you pose an interesting question. And one thing we've done in our program, and obviously weren't successful at this week, is we're just trying to go 1 game at a time and be 1-0 at the end of each week. And really within our program, after the final regular season game, look back our entire body of work and judge it at that point. And again, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. A very, very disappointing start to our season. UTSA came in here expecting to win, and we came in here expecting to win. And again, I give them credit, but we're going to bounce back. We're going to regroup. We're going to correct our mistakes, and get ready to play Grambling next Saturday night.
I know UH has kind of, the past 5 years, been on a kind of a roller coaster, one good year, one bad year. After obviously a disappointing start, what do you tell the team to make sure that this doesn't become the next one bad year?
Well, it goes back to, I think, a little bit what I said a few minutes ago in terms of what we just talked about in the locker room. This game doesn't have to define this season, and it doesn't have to define this team. We can come out at any point, at any game this season, regardless of who our opponent is, and we can get 7 turnovers, and we can only turn it over one time, and then we'll have a much different locker room after the game and a much different mood in this press conference. So, again, I think there's been some consistency in our program over the course of time, and I think certainly our expectations are high. And I think when you look at, not diminishing tonight's outcome, but our number one goal within our program is to compete for a conference championship. And right now, as I sit here, we know where we are at this moment. We know we have to correct, and we got a conference game coming up in a few weeks, and we got to get the things corrected that we had errors on tonight here, starting this week.
And I know John O'Corn, you switched him out at the end of the game. Are you going to stick with him at quarterback? Or?
Yeah, we're going to stick with John.
I know you're locking in on the turnovers, but you weren't exactly moving the ball aside from those. So your offense never got rhythm even without the mistakes. Did you get a sense of that in practice leading into this, or was it something that just UTSA, like I said, just because they dominated the line of scrimmage?
And I think a number of things attributed to it. I think turnovers is big. I felt, again, I'm going to give their defensive line and their defense credit. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They took away our running game, and I think we just could never. We were playing from behind. It seemed like pretty early in the game, and we became one-dimensional and didn't get into rhythm. And I think there's not more to be said on it than that.
You talked about the defensive line and how good they were. Coming into next Saturday's game, will you be making any changes to your offensive line?
I don't know at this point, but we'll go look at the film, see how our student athletes played up front, and that'll be across the board. If we feel like there need to be any personnel changes, we'll watch the film, talk to the staff, and implement any changes this week.
Anything else?